Welcome back, my peeps. This is for future elections. I would love for some independent agencies to oversee Jamaican elections because there's a lot of corruptions in politics and also corrupted politicians. It starts from the top and it trickles down because a lot of people who work within electoral offices across Jamaica, they are biased, unfair, and they're also criminals. Because what I see wrong with politics in Jamaica, as I said before, a lot of people, they see colors. A lot of people, they will die for their party. They grew up in a household wherein from the great-great-grandmother and grandfather down to the dog them that they had, they are born GLP. And also from the great-grandfather come all the way down to the baby a PNP. So once you have that dilated mentality, there's nobody can change you out of that. And we must stop seeing colors. And what I'm saying is, for future elections, they need to have uniforms for staff and volunteers who are going to be working at the electoral offices and wherever they're hosting the elections. They need uniform. Uniform. You don't want nobody comes to on a desk with no red, orange, or green. And then because I come present myself to represent for my party, whether you're a Labour Right or GLP, and I pop up in my green, you show me bad face. Because I show up in my orange, you show me bad face. It's supposed to be independent. You're there working for that day. You are part of the process. You're not supposed to discriminate against anyone, whether you like whatever vote for or not. So for future elections, I'd hope the Jamaican government would have measures in place so that people or persons working within electoral offices or agencies, they wear a particular uniform does not show the party that they're affiliated with. Just like when you come to America and you're voting. You have volunteers, you got staff, you go in, they guide you to where you go vote. You go vote. You don't know who they voted for. You might see they have I voted sign on they paste it on their chest or wherever they choose to wear the sticker you get after you vote. And you can tell if they vote for Labour Right or they vote for PNP because they don't disclose who they vote for. So for future, I would love to see the person who's working in the offices or working along with the agents or whosoever conducting the elections. We don't want no color. Give them a uniform, maybe full khaki, full white, something and some vests, that does not depict the party or whatsoever. And they also need some independent over election overseers. That persons who can go around and monitor the election. Police. You're not supposed to have no police that come pick up ballot boxes or certain thing. Ballot boxes supposed to be stored in armored vehicle. The same armored vehicle the Jamaican them are used to go up and raid, they supposed to use them armored vehicle to pick up the ballot boxes. And you supposed to have somebody who's independent, who's not affiliated with no party, to go around with the persons collecting with the boxes to ensure that those boxes end up in the places that they're supposed to be. Because too often you find that elections been hosted and then box come up missing, ballots don't just disappear. Because I'm not going to say that this election is not a fair or unfair election. The people have spoken. Am I pleased with the result? Maybe so, maybe or maybe not. But I'll keep my opinion to myself. What I'm saying is Jamaica has to do better in terms of how they conduct elections. Because even though we're in 2025, why Jamaica, who's moving forward, is still using paper ballots? Why people has to go to a place where they're supposed scheduled to vote and their name is on the list, they have to go somewhere else to vote? Or they're told, you can't vote here, we don't have your name here. And you go back like you're going back to 1988 or 1999, and you go into a folder to find a name. You're supposed to have people's name on an iPod. It's surprisingly that I just came from Jamaica, as I mentioned in my previous video, and I got stopped by a police officer. The police officer, he pulled me over. No reason, so he just doing a routine traffic stop. I have my US license and I provided to him. He asked about the car information. I provided the car information. You know what the officer did? He went on his phone and he could pull up the information for the car, and he could have identified who the owner of the car is. But you tell me in 2025 elections, people still have to go to where they're supposed to vote, and they have to still go into a folder like you in all age school back in the 80s. That's unacceptable. And if Jamaica is moving forward, we have to ensure that our elections are done better, are monitored more. And another thing I have to address, people who vote should not be around the polling stations after they vote. You vote, you leave. You come, you cast your vote, you leave. They should ensure that their security guards or officers were stationed at those polling booths, that the persons or people who vote just vote and leave. In America, you can't hang around where you vote to leave. You come in, they escort you, go left, go right, and find a way outside. Take the elevator down or take the elevator up, or you exit that way. There's an exit that way, there's an exit that way, and you're gone. You can't even hang around the area. You don't vote, you don't vote. But people finish voting and causing chaos, mischief. And most of them have good intent, but half of them have bad intent. So that's another thing that they have to look into. And I'm not going to say anything much about the EOJ because I don't know nothing much about the EOJ. But I know there's conflict of interest as far as I'm understanding, because how can you have the EOJ in the Prime Minister's office or wherever the Prime Minister hang out? So what I'm saying is, moving forward, I hope Jamaica can move past this. The people have spoken. The JLP party has won. And I want to say congratulations to Mr. Olness. I'm not going to disrespect you in any way. As I said earlier on in a conversation, when I'm in America, I'm an American. My president is the president of the United States. Whenever I'm in Jamaica, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, he's my Prime Minister, because that's where my presence is. So all the persons who won their seat, congratulations. And for persons who lost their seat, try again next 4 years. So until then, I want to say thanks for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. Peace out. Be safe. Thank you.